What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? It's showing you that's in Serpentarium. Now, today, obviously, you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, and all this video is going to be about. It's going to be about colubrids versus pythons. This guy right here, he's actually my Chinese beauty snake. I'll have him out for the first half of the video, and then I'll put him away and grab the nearest python for the second half of the video, okay? Before we get started, guys, if you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe. And also, I have something to reveal to you. You're gonna like this one. You really are. Look at that. Little rosy boa tattoo. See if I can get a good shot of it. I'm actually going to get a full sleeve at some point, but let me know what you guys think of that. I really enjoy it. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I've had it for a few weeks now. I've just let it settle down before I thought I'd show you all on this platform. It has been on my Instagram and my Facebook page. If you haven't checked those pages out, make sure you do. That's where I post my babies, you know, photos and stuff like that, little updates. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Now, obviously, you can see this boy here. He's absolutely gorgeous. He has tamed down a lot, and he is quite tame for a Chinese beauty. I've got this boy out because he is sort of like a classic sort of colubrid. He's quite fast. He can be, you know, a little bit snappy, but he can also be really tame as well. And to me, that's a classic colubrid, really. So the first thing you want to bear in mind, guys, about this video, really, is it's going to be more of a general pet keeping kind of video. It's not going to be really about the differences scientifically or anything like that. I will run down just real quick the main differences between pythons and boas scientifically. Obviously, guys, most pythons anyway, have heat pits at the front of their face. Colubrids don't. Pythons in general are a lot thicker and heavier bodied than colubrids. Colubrids tend to live at a lot cooler temperatures than pythons. They're both egg layers for the most part. Obviously, there are a few exceptions. Garter snakes give live young, for example, and a couple of pythons as well give birth to live young. But in general, they're egg layers. Size-wise, obviously, the largest colubrid would be about 10 foot, whereas the largest python is obviously the retic, which is, you know, 18 foot or so. But yeah, that's the quick rundown of them in difference. But as far as pet keeping, they're absolutely miles apart. Okay, it really does. It does matter what you guys actually want for a pet snake when deciding between these two snakes. Colubrids, as I say, they're a lot faster moving than pythons. They can calm down a lot, okay, they are a lot more active, they're a lot better to watch in a big display enclosure, for example, than most pythons. Not all pythons, some pythons are quite active, but they're not going to be as active as a colubrid for the most part. Colubrids are just always on the go compared to pythons. Colubrids tend to have a much wider variety of colour patterns in nature, okay? You've got anything from this sort of colour here, you've got sort of bluish colours, you've got reds, you know, stripes, blotches, all sorts of different colours. Pythons tend to be a little bit more basic in their colour phases compared to colubrids. That's not calling them basic at all, but compared to colubrids, you know, with these guys, you've got a much wider variety of what exists in nature. But they're both gorgeous, really. Obviously, the main difference for handling is going to be that most colubrids are quite skinny. Even the thicker bodied colubrids, like the Thai beauties, you know, for an 8-foot snake, if you had an 8-foot python instead, it would be a lot chunkier than the Thai beauty. It's just quite thick because it's quite long, if that makes any sense. But if you're looking at the body circumference compared to the body length, they're really thin compared to pythons. So it depends what you like, really. If you like that big thick chunkiness, then a python would be better than a colubrid. But if you want something thinner, a little bit more active, then the colubrid could be a good choice for you. Both colubrids and pythons have a wide variety of sizes you can get them in. You can get them in anywhere from 3 to, you know, upwards of 8 foot. Obviously colubrids at the 8 foot end, you're starting to become a little bit limited in what you can get. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really need a snake any bigger than that, okay? It's nice to have, but you don't need it. As far as pet size goes, anything from sort of 4 to 7 feet is ideal for me personally. And there are plenty of colubrids and plenty of pythons that sort of fit that. I'm just trying to show off his colours a little bit more. What I found a lot with colubrids as well, guys, they tend to be a lot better at escaping their enclosure, so that's something to bear in mind. I've been keeping snakes for a long time now. I've only just got into colubrids, and I've had multiple escapes. A lot of that is due to the fact that all rack systems and tubs and stuff like that, they're sold with ball pythons in mind, and obviously colubrids have much smaller heads. So when I end up modifying them to suit the colubrids, sometimes the modifications don't always go well, and that leads them to escaping. But other than that as well, they're a lot more sneaky. When they do get out, they take a lot longer to find, so that is something bearing in mind when you're picking one of these snakes. You definitely, if a python escapes, it's a lot less of a big deal than if a colubrid escapes, because the colubrids will be gone for longer. And actually, a lot of colubrids can survive for quite a while in, you know, the northern hemisphere sort of climates, because they don't mind they're a little bit cooler. They're a lot more hardy. So I'll just plop this guy back in now. We'll get a female ball python out, because that's the nearest python to get out, and then we'll carry on with the video. 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned as well, guys, but my editing software is broken, so that's why I've got to sort of do the video in sort of chunks like this. I am awful sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do for the moment. I'm not going to get her out, actually. Tell you what, we'll get a little retic out. Is there who wants the little retic out? Yeah? Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. She's everyone's favourite. Everyone loves the little retic. Oh no, what's the matter? She's a little bit grumpy today, but we'll get her out anyway. I'm sure everyone wants to see me get bitten. Oh, you are looking fantastic. Right, come on in, sweetheart. Oh, I know. Right, hokey cokey. So here's the little retic. Okay, but again, guys, this doesn't just apply to retics. This is just going to be pythons in general. Retics obviously are not your standard python, but we'll be talking about, you know, the other type of pythons, the shorter, stumpier kind of pythons, if that makes any sense, because retics are more the exception to the general rule of pythons. But look at her, she's gorgeous. She's growing really well as well, to be fair to her. Really healthy look. I mean, a lot of people have told me, this is a side tangent here, but a lot of people have told me that she's really underfed, but I don't think so. I mean, look, she's got perfect body condition for what a retic actually is in the wild. And to be honest, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if she lives double the length of an average retic, because I'm feeding her a little bit slower. I would not be surprised at all. I'm not going to breed this girl probably ever. I certainly have no plans to breed her. She is just a pet, so I just want her to have a nice long life with me, and it'd be nice if she's still alive when I'm in my 60s. But anyway, pythons then. We'll move on to feeding now. Obviously comparing the two. Colubrids tend to have a lot quicker metabolisms than pythons, okay? So if you feed a colubrid, most of the time they would have pooped it out within a couple of days, whereas sometimes pythons can be up to a week. And obviously then with the colubrids, guys, you've got to feed them a lot more regularly. They tend to most colubrids tend to want to brumate. Obviously exceptions again, the Chinese beauties don't need to be brumated. Most Asian species again don't need to be brumated, but you know, a lot of them do, especially the North American colubrids and the European colubrids. Whereas pythons, you don't brumate these guys. You might drop their temperature a little bit for breeding, but you don't need to most of the time. Whereas colubrids, you tend to do it a lot, even if you're not breeding them, just to keep them from getting fat, because obviously they've got that really massive appetite. Most pythons and colubrids alike do have the capability of becoming overweight. I'm just trying to show off her colour and stuff. She's hanging on my hand, she is. This is her choice, okay? I'm not making her do it. Yeah, both of them can get overweight, okay? You tend to see a lot more in pythons than colubrids, but you do see overweight colubrids. But most people that want to get colubrids like that thinner sort of look snake, whereas a lot of people that want pythons, they want the chunkier look, and then they just plough their faces with food. And then, you know, you end up with an overweight snake. So you do need to watch with weight with either group of snakes, guys. This girl loves going for the camera. Yeah, so both of them are actually very tame in general and tractable pets. Obviously you will get exceptions. Some species are more aggressive or defensive than others. Some are more flighty than others, okay? But in general, if you stick to the bog standard colubrid or python, you're going to be golden. Any North American colubrid really is going to be nice and tame for the most part. Most Asian species are as well, really, but you've got to sometimes work a little bit more with them, and they can sometimes be a little bit more snappy for whatever reason. But then again, it's the same with pythons, guys. You know, you can get a snappy python, you can get a really placid python. So it really, you know, you can't factor that in really to your decision, just because it depends on the individual and depends on the exact species. And you've got to be prepared to look after the snake, whatever the temperament, okay? You can't just go, oh, well, it's snappy, I'm not going to take care of it. This girl was a little bit snappy when I got her. My both the beauties were quite snappy, particularly the female. I've had many snappy snakes in my time, and you just got to get on with it. Most of the time they'll calm down with at least semi-regular handling, and then they'll be absolutely golden. But I just thought I'd give you a little nice view of her. Oh my god, she looks fantastic. Sorry. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe. Sorry about the unprofessionalness with the camera and stuff like that. There's nothing I can do. My editing software is broke, and there's nothing I can do about that. Shout out if you noticed I'm actually wearing pajamas today. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. I really appreciate you spending some time with me here today. It's been great, you know, building up the channel to what it is now and communicating with you all in the comments. So thanks for that, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.